to another stream. Today we're doing a this week's Antics. This is one of them streams where I do like what I've been up to at the weekend, like if I've not had a booking or anything. So it's kind of just like I've done this at the weekend, and if I've been anywhere interesting or done anything that I feel like let's put it on the channel, music related, obviously. I ain't gonna come live and say, oh, I've gone for a walk through the park today. Not that I ever do that really, anyway. But no, it's more about like if I've been to any events, that kind of thing. And this weekend I've been fortunate enough to go to two events. So I thought I'd give a little bit of an update because I've been to two amazing events, and it's truly been a good weekend. It's truly been enjoyable at these events, and the vibe has been unreal. So Friday, myself and the layman, we hit the road, and we headed down to Scunthorpe to Hard Drive, which is Brooks, Nico, Fergs, and sort of all of them put this night on, and they moved to the Light nightclub, which is one of my most favourite nightclubs to play in. If you're not aware, it's where Bounce to Your Drop have been having their events, and I've been fortunate to play a couple of events of theirs over the sort of past nearly 2 years now, and it's a really enjoyable nightclub. So obviously, what I was going to say is, I do apologise. Give me 2 seconds. They obviously. There we go. I do apologise about that. Sometimes I can come live and no, I've knocked the camera down, and they don't even care that I'm live, and they'll just shout as loud as they want to shout. But if they want to be all over the internet shouting, that's on them, not me. But no, so Friday they was in the Light Club, and what I was gonna say is it was a really good event. It was they'd put some like special people had come in, I forget the name, and they'd like fitted loads of amazing lasers, and then they had spider sounds in that fitted like a massive sound system, and trust me, that sound system was absolutely kicking it. It was booting, and I remember myself and the layman, we pulled up to Scunthorpe, and you have to go a little bit up the road and turn into a car park to park, and it sort of goes behind the club, but like a little bit to the side of it, and you could hear the music, like proper belting through from in the car park. And at first I was actually a little bit like, "Whoo, this is," a little bit worried, like, like what if, a noise complaint or something, because it really was kicking in and booting. But we got into the venue, and it was just absolutely, belting in there. They did really well with the event. Loads of people came. It got busy, and it was absolutely fun. I've never just I don't even know like how to explain it, that the vibes were just so good. The music was belting. There was a mixture of like hard trance, hardcore, bounce, hard style, little bit of heavyish gamma, and it was just gabba. Sorry, I think I said gamma, gabba. It was just a really enjoyable vibe. It was just a really enjoyable moment to be in that club, hearing all them sounds and the lights going off. And I know they've got some plans for future events, which I'll be looking forward to seeing how they pan out and how they plan out. And I know there's a pretty hefty one coming up in June to keep an eye out for. There was some flyers around the nightclub. And I think it's just going to be really good. So this night was actually on till 6 in the morning. It was a till 6 in the morning job. Now, myself and the layman, we didn't stay right while 6, but I think we left somewhere around like 3:30, 3:45, or something like that. I know we left like fairly late-ish, but we didn't stick it out like right till the end, which was obviously just a little bit of a gets tiring by that time, even for me, and I'm like a young, supposed to be like a young spring chicken, and there's me getting all like tired out. So it came to Saturday. And I didn't rush out of bed. I've just raved, I'm aching, I've had a late night. Attempted, we got food and stuff while we was there, and then just um, headed home, and you feel a bit tired, you feel a bit achy, but it's Saturday, and this is one reason in some sense why I don't like raves on a Friday, because I feel like raves on a Friday can like absolutely knacker you out. But like then you've got like this Saturday, and like if there's something happening, and you're sat at home, and you're missing it out, it kind of feels a little bit. Whereas if you have a rave on a Saturday, you've only got Sunday, and then you're like back to the weekday. And Saturday, Back to Bounce was hosting an event at the Doncaster Warehouse, a bounce night with DJs Joe Taylor, Andy Whitby, JRP, Jambo, Joey S and Jord, and there was a guy called Sandy as well. Owen NRG, if I didn't say his name already, who I've got to mention here is absolutely smashing it, young up and coming, and doing everything right at the moment, and playing some hefty bounce sets, trust me, and getting some hefty bookings as well. So big respect to the lad. So this event was on. It was also Joey S's birthday. There was a couple of people on the lineup that I class myself to know and get along with now. And I thought, I don't want a boring Saturday of just sat at home. So I sort of ummed and ahed all day about, ooh, do I go? Do I not go? And I actually made a mega error last night as well, which I'll get on to a little bit later on in the stream. But I was umming and ahhing about going because I was unsure of like how I was going to get back. I knew the layman wasn't going to this one, or at least he said he wasn't. So I ummed and ahed a bit. I even fell asleep in the chair downstairs for a good part of yesterday afternoon. Just didn't really feel it. Like I stayed in bed all morning, and then I got up and recorded a mix, and then I had a little dabble on FL, and just couldn't really get into it. I didn't feel it. I just felt done in, tired. So I went and sat downstairs, and I had like a brew, and had something to had a little bite to eat, and just dozed off in the chair. And then woke up a little bit and thought, felt real just. I don't know why I almost felt like I was on like some form of a come down, even though I don't touch drugs, and I just felt like I need like a pick me up. I need something to get me in the mood, and I was umming and ahhing whether to go on, and deep down I really I wanted to go. I think was the deep down, and I just and I secured a lift anyway, and got the train to Doncaster. To bounce to Back to Bounce, and I just want to say that what a night Back to Bounce was. What a night from the start to the finish, or from when I arrived to the finish. And what I was gonna say is I arrived like. I arrived like halfway through the first set, so I think I arrived at the club probably about 20 to between 9:30 and queued outside. It's right near the train station. I found like a shortcut as well on like how to a quicker way of essentially getting to the warehouse from the train station without having to walk right round and walk through the town, and just a way that I didn't know. And I just essentially you could cut through the bus station, and you could come up some stairs, and it'd take you onto North Bridge, and then you just cross over the road and go down the other stairs that take you down to the side where the warehouse is essentially, which was a good thing. So I queued for a bit, And then I got in, and the place was heaving. The place is definitely for like a bounce night. At the warehouse is definitely by far the busiest I've seen it for a bounce night. Now I know Richard Hanna. I know he packs it out for the likes of the Rave Escape, and I know Dioxide and like Future Beats and stuff. I know they get really busy and they get rammed, but they play multi-genre. That there's always like the hard style and the reverse bass and the hardcore as well as the bounce. It's not just a donk night, and they normally have like an outdoor stage going as well. Whereas this one for the back to bounce was just like I said, the place was just heaving. I honestly was just so busy. And the vibe in there, the vibe was just unreal. The sound system was booting, the tunes, and it was one of them nights where I just could not pick what would be a set of the night for me. I really liked the Joe Taylor set. Joe Taylor played an amazing set. Andy Whitby, you kind of expect he's going to play an amazing set now, and you know what you're getting with Whitby, and it's still banging every time. But I suppose there's nothing to proper wow you when you have seen him a good 4 or 5, 6 times. But he's still really good to watch, and he's still really enjoyable to see. Nixie and Devise, they really smashed their set as well. I really liked theirs. They did a remix of Entrance, Set You Free, and I personally, for me, it's one of the best remixes, bounce wise, of that track that I've ever heard. And sadly, they never released it, and I don't think they're planning to release it. And they play it in their sets, and the breakdown is just absolutely amazing, and the whole vibe of the set is just absolutely banging. But that tune just goes off. I'd love to get my hands on that tune. I really would. I'd love to hope one day that maybe they do like a USB or something, and it just comes on in like an unreleased tracks folder or something on the USB. Because I know Overdrive did on his various digital hardcore stick. He did like a folder, and it has just unreleased songs on it. And if you don't own this stick, this USB, then you won't have them. You won't have the unreleased tunes. So maybe they'll do something like that in the future. I'm not entirely sure, but it's a belting track. JRP absolutely smashed his set. JRP with Sandy, just absolutely belting vibes. Owen NRG didn't fully catch all of his set before I left, but what I did hear of it was sounding banging, and the vibe in there was just really good. So what went wrong for me? Because I know all you who tune into the stream and lock in, you'll be dying to know what went wrong for me. So anyway, so I'm going to this night, and I secure my lift, thinking the layman's not coming. Blah blah blah. So I'm in the warehouse, etc., just enjoying me booting and belting night, and I'm texting him and saying, oh yeah, it's quite a busy night here, and people are asking about you, where are you? And next minute he sends me a photo, and he's in the smoking yard of a nightclub, and I'm in a rave. I don't really take much notice, and I know he was debating on going to another event in Grimsby. So I didn't really look at the photo properly, and I just love-hearted it. And then next thing I know, I see him on the stage in the warehouse sticking his fingers up to me. So me being me, he's here, for God's sake. I can't, I've come all the way on the train, blah blah blah, and he's actually ended up turning up. So I don't know why he turned up. I don't know if they actually texted him and said, because it's got so busy, look, we need you for photos, etc. So I see him on the stage, and he's pointing to me and going like this, blah blah blah. It was actually asking me what time is my lift coming for me, and he's going like this, boom boom boom, like this, and I think I thought, literally, no word of a lie, I actually thought that he was saying that, I said, because he was here, I was like, you're actually here, I've paid for my lift home, blah blah blah, and he's going like that. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm thinking um, I'm thinking to myself, he's actually offering to take me home. So I actually text my lift and I go, look, sorry to mess you around, but I don't think I'll need you to pick me up anymore. Because I've got my lift sorted, and I'm thinking, oh, Lee's just gone like that, and pointed like, is it, but he was actually asking me what time my lift was coming, but because the music's booming, I didn't hear it. So I actually cancelled my lift. And then a bit later on, he said, what time are you getting picked up? And then I realised that, oh shit, I've actually just made a mistake here and actually cancelled my lift when essentially he wasn't going back, he wasn't going straight back to Hull. That was the issue. So maybe me, absolute muppet, I pay for one lift before I leave Hull, so I've got this guaranteed way of getting back, and then maybe me cancelling the lift when I actually still needed it. And then I ended up having to pay for another lift on top of the lift I'd already paid for. Because he wasn't going back to Hull and he didn't have enough fuel to come back to Hull to drop me off to come all the way back to the Doncaster end when he'd obviously arranged something else. So I had to pay, sadly, I had to pay for him, sadly, to drop me home, which was it was a mistake on my end. The music was booming. I didn't hear what he was saying. I didn't understand. I just saw him going like that. And I did think as well, oh, he's here now, so yeah, I'll probably just may as well ride back with him, and it saves my lift having to turn out and come and pick me up. So, but it was a mistake on my end. That being said, the whole vibe of the night was just absolutely fantastic. Like I say, it was rammed in there. Like the warehouse was just so busy. And for me, it is by far, I think, about my most favourite nightclub to ever go in. There's just something different about it. The whole vibe of it is just absolutely. The whole vibe of it is just how you make it. You go to these other venues where they put like rave nights on, and you'll have the owners saying like, oh, no caps, and this, that, and the other, and don't wear this and don't wear that, and the warehouse is kind of more or less, it's that sort of underground rave venue, where it's not about sort of like, I mean, don't get, it is about the image, but they're not really promoting like house nights and that sort of like classy tunes where where you'd expect people to be sort of more dressed for the occasion, where they don't want everyone looking like chavs in the videos, as some nightclubs have described it in the past. So this one is sort of more open. You can wear your caps and you can come in your sort of like you tracky zip top and and stuff like that. And there's just something about the venue, the vibe in there, the people that go in there. It's just always a belting vibe. And it's just one truly an amazing venue, and I feel so like privileged and blessed that we have it so close to home. In the car it's about 45 minutes away. It's about £9 on the train, like for a single, and it's next to the train station at Donny. And like what I'm essentially saying is the vibe is just something else. The vibe is just amazing. Um, good vibes all around with the whole entire venue. The bar staff are nice. The door staff are nice. If you treat them with respect, they'll treat you with respect. The DJs always smash it. The MCs are always on point. That go into the warehouse and always shouting people out, and reading messages on phones to shout other people out that maybe aren't at home, or just an easier way of getting the MC to sort of hear what you're saying if they just read what you've typed out. But I just love the vibe of the warehouse. It's really grown on me since going, because a couple of years ago, late 2021, I'd never been to the warehouse before. It was something that was quite new to me. I'd always heard about it, but it's just something and somewhere that I'd never been to. And to be able to go there and be in that vibe, and You know, it really, you know, no offences, you know, to other places, but it does put shame to them, and you know, some of these other raves that are in like smaller venues, it does put shame to them, unfortunately. There's just something about the warehouse that I just personally feel like it can't be beaten. You know, they've got something so good and untouchable about that venue, that you just don't get at other places. You know, and you just don't you know, and it's something, you know, when you're in other venues, it doesn't feel, you know, if you're in other venues and you're seeing like, you know, it's like a similar night to what you'd see at the warehouse. It's like, you know, it's like, you know, you wouldn't, it just doesn't feel like, you know, you can tell when you're not at the warehouse, like, because of the vibe. So really good. But all in all, both nights this weekend have been absolutely belting. Still a couple of weeks to go for me until my next booking. We'll be 2 weeks next Saturday. We're just under 3 weeks, and till the next booking. And that's when everything starts to get hectic. That's when we've got like Stomping, we've got EWL's birthday bash, Cleethorpes, Sopranos in Amsterdam. You know, we've got the likes of a lot of stuff happening. You know, taking us through into 2023. So it's going to be a good vibe, hopefully, and it's going to be you know, like a roller coaster. It's you know, a roller coaster of a ride, that'll hopefully be really good. So yeah. So apart from that, you know, apart from being at these raves, it's just been chilling for me, recovering, just laid in bed, really not really wanting to do much, and I've got a couple of live streams to do today. I'm on Call to the Floor at 6 o'clock in about half an hour's time, and then at 9 o'clock I'm on your radio. So on Call to the Floor, I'm gonna do a hardcore set. So I did a hardcore set on there last week when I made a debut, and this week I'm gonna go with like old school sort of happy hardcore to start with. Gonna go with some older tunes, and then we're gonna get a little bit sort of newer as we go along. Just sort of mix from the happy, sort of bouncy techno, breakbeat hardcore into the sort of you know, UK hardcore, if you like, and gonna be hopefully playing some different tunes that hopefully will just take people down memory lane, or they might not have heard an hardcore remix of this say certain tunes. So it'll be good. So that's going to do it for this stream. I do apologise about the messy background. I've like put loads of some boxes on my bed and stuff, and it's just all messy. I need to have a good sort out in here actually. Everything, you know, I got the new like vinyl decks, and then you know, the carrying cases, you know, they've taken up space in itself, and everything's just kind of getting a little bit on top and a little bit messy and just a little bit screw with. Even a couple of posters have actually just decided in the last day or so that they're actually going to fall down, and I just haven't got I just can't reach to put them back up, and they're quite awkward because they're behind my computer, and it's just a, you know, the little annoying things are because I've been raving for like 2 nights on a row. I just kind of think, you know, I actually cannot be asked to try and put them posters back up. But I'm going to have a good little sort out in this room at some point, where I'll be like stripping the room to bare and just giving it a proper good sort of like sort around, because at the moment everything is just kind of a little bit like spaghetti junction, a bit of a jungle. And I just, you know, I want to get some things set up, and you know, just looking a little bit better. So yeah, without that being said, that's going to do it for the stream. I've got a couple of things I need to do before I go live. Just some tunes and folders that I need to transfer. So make sure to like, comment, share. Peace out, people.